So one of the many ways we help our clients is first of all knowing that it's super competitive in the marketplace. There's a lot of lenders, there's a lot of noise, there's a lot of misinformation. It's really hard to navigate the field, especially if you're a home buyer. And so what we try to do is to help simplify that process in a lot of different ways and really eliminate a lot of the things that maybe don't matter as much and to help focus on the things that maybe are impactful. So it brings to mind a couple of clients that we had a number of years ago. They had approached us and they had done really well in life and they were looking to set up a plan for them to find a retirement home in Southern California. But what they needed to do is to create a solution so that they could actually purchase this property while they maintained their residence in Northern California and also purchase that property for it to be a rental property in the short term, but ultimately became their vacation home. So it took a little bit of work and it took some problem solving for us, but we were able to get that completed for them and put them in a position where they could win as having a home right now, having a rental property that they could use a rental income for, and at the point that they're ready to officially retire, to give them a plan for them to sell their home in Northern California and move into their home in Southern California that becomes their retirement home. So we really enjoy helping people create solutions. And this is one of many that we have worked side by side with so many clients over the years to help create solutions that were a little bit tricky, but were certainly part of life's elements and milestones to help them create the security and for them to win and meet their goals.
In her case, it really was about slowing down. She was very detail oriented. She really wanted to understand every single aspect of the process. So, in those cases, I think it's really beneficial to slow things down, to take the time to make sure, to not only explain it to them, make sure that they understand it. She had mentioned previously that some of the lenders that she worked with, it was like a fast food order where they just wanted to kind of get you in, get you out. And she said she really valued that I took time.
So there's a lot of ways that we can help our clients. A lot of clients really care about having a great experience. We care deeply about that experience. And we care deeply about that experience as well. And so we want to help provide them with all the things that they expect along their process and their journey through the entire process that gets them to their ultimate destination. And so we really do encourage people to explore all the opportunities out there, which helps reinforce our value and our experience for them. It brings to mind a client that we worked with a number of years ago. He was in technology and he was very creative in so many ways about what he was looking for, but he cared deeply about the experience. And we knew that the bar was very high with him, but it gave us an opportunity to really create that customized experience for him and gave him all the information he needed, but also the ability for him to explore the rest of the market and the rest of the opportunities and to ultimately decide on where he felt most comfortable. And so it was with us that we provided just the right amount of guidance, but really no pressure at all, that ultimately created a winning experience for him and helped him to purchase his home.
I think with Corey, his story is not unlike a lot of young professionals in the Bay Area, where because of the cost of housing, because of interest rates being higher than where they've been for quite a while, he really wasn't able to purchase in his number one area. But what we were able to do is slow things down, go through the numbers in a way that he could understand, and eventually we got him comfortable purchasing in an area that he hadn't initially been in love with, but we're going to meet his needs for now and was going to be a solid foundation as he progressed in his professional life, in his personal life, to in I think the near future be able to purchase in that area that he was really focused on initially.
All right, and we there's a lot of clients that approach us too with some complex problems or some really bold visions and dreams, and we love being able to help our clients with bigger plans outside of just a transaction. And so we utilize our vast network of resources and skills and we are by no means the expert in every situation, but we really try to be a resource in a number of ways, or if it's an affiliate or a partner in any way, to provide them with the support that they need. So it reminded me of a client, and this was maybe 20 years ago, and it started off with a lot of phone call, like a normal phone call. And the phone call was, hey, what is your interest rate? What can you do to help me? Hey, here's my transaction, here's my detail. Those are all very straightforward. But what we realized is, as we got into the complexity of what his goal really was, and his goal wasn't to purchase a property, it was, but his ultimate goal was to create a real estate portfolio that was really about the plan for his entire family. And this involved multiple properties. And again, that was probably 20 years ago. And we've had the great honor of continuing to serve him and his family with all of their transactions with all the properties that they had purchased. And there were lots of complexities around it, or there was estate planning things that we helped them with, or qualifications, or tax advantages. So there's a lot of things that came into play that we've been able to help them with, and certainly not that we're experts in every field, but the ultimate goal was something that was a big dream. And so over the years, we've had so many great opportunities, but especially with this client, to help him build his wealth around real estate and come up with a solid plan that really touches and needs the resources of so many experts, whether it's tax consultants, estate planners, the list goes on. And so we feel very blessed and very fortunate that we were able to create a solution for that time that we took the initial phone call to today, where we're actively helping them improve their real estate portfolio with transactions. So another example of the opportunity that we've been fortunate to have and some of the solutions that we've created.
You know, some people are all digital. They only want to text, they only want to, or maybe they want to talk on the phone. In some cases, people don't even want to talk on the phone anymore, or they want to do everything through email. And, for other folks like Tito, it's all about the personal touch. It's all about meeting the person. It's about the human connection, the human interaction, which, I really love. I think the only constraint is time, but I think, when desired and when necessary, I prefer kind of the old-fashioned one.
So we've got a lot of clients that are very detail-oriented, and I know some of our competitors don't maybe work really well with detail-oriented people, but we look forward to that. And we provide a high level of transparency. We outlined exactly what the details are. We provide as much information to everybody that they want, and in some cases, they're happy with just the overview, but we do have a lot of clients that really like the big picture, and they want to know all the details, and they want to know exactly what's going on, and they want to know what the next steps are. And we really value that. And it even comes down to our pricing model. Our pricing model is very complex because of the way that we're ability to trade and to have options in a real-time marketplace with hundreds of lenders at a time. And so a lot of times we'll go into more detail about how that works and the complexities around that. We love those conversations. So what that really means is it gives us the ability to meet people where they want to be met. And so for detail-oriented clients, we love meeting them at a level with complexity and helping them understand, especially what's happening in the marketplace where there's so much confusion. So we had another client that was a really strong client, and he was in marketing, and he was a very intelligent individual, and he really cared deeply about the process and the steps, and wanted to have a lot of conversations about the preparation, about the process, about getting to closing, and we welcome that. And at the end of the day, he really appreciated that experience because we were able to give him all the clarity that he needed and all the information. And in some cases, it's more information than most people will want, but we provided him with the security and the safety that he needed to help him make an intelligent decision and trust us through that process.
Sometimes we really have to step in and help kind of get things organized, but also break things down into bite-sized pieces so it doesn't feel like they have to conquer the whole mountain. We just need to take one step at a time, and by the time we take enough steps, we'll get to the top.
So there's a lot of clients that we talk to at various stages, and a lot of them express concerns and some negativity of trying to go through this process with other mortgage professionals, or maybe feeling discouraged, or maybe feeling a little bit like they can never really become a homeowner at some point. And we do talk to a fair amount of those people, and we know in Northern California it's super competitive and prices are extremely high. So we know that we're well aware of all those challenges, but we can't help everybody. But there's a number of people that we've been able to really come up with a plan and to help them create a path and a plan towards purchasing a home, even when maybe in the past that they didn't think that was possible. So, for example, there was a client that we worked with that was in healthcare, and she talked to a lot of different individuals and just felt like she could never be somebody to actually purchase a home. And it took us a while, and we had a lot of discussions with her, and we talked about a lot of planning elements and a lot of things that we needed to do to help her. And she worked extremely hard, but she was a person that it didn't happen overnight, but she actually saw that we could help her. And it was extremely gratifying for us to be able to help her reach her goal of home ownership, especially when she didn't think it was possible. And I know she did all the hard work, but we were very fortunate and lucky to be there helping her along the way.
Again, it was slowing things down. Especially with folks that are, slightly more advanced in age, they like it when we're not rushing through everything, where they don't feel like they're on a stopwatch, that our time is that they're worthy of our time, and they are. So for folks like that, I think it's really important that we kind of meet them where they are. And for her, it was a little bit of drive to get to where she was, but in the end, I got a lot more out of it than I would have if I had just insisted on a Zoom call or a phone call. Definitely a lot more than just a text or email could have conveyed.
So we get a lot of clients that have extremely busy lives, and we know that today's lives and connections and family can put a lot of strains on individuals and families. So we've got a lot of people that really all they care about is just get me to the finish line. And I don't need to know the details. I don't need to know all the steps, but just tell me what I need to do to get there. And we work really well with those clients as well, because a lot of ways that we built our business is to create simplicity and efficiency in our entire process. And what that means is the way that we maybe set up our files to be exchanged electronically and safely. So there's a lot of things that we have in place with the way we've built our business to try to make life easier for people, especially when there's so many demands and distractions in this day and age. There's a number of people that come to mind, but we've got one client that was extremely busy. His wife was an executive. He was in technology, and he was very detail oriented, but he really wanted to leave the process to us to help guide him through it. Now, he was very attentive, and he cared a lot about the details, but he just wanted us to help him through that process and make it as easy as possible because of the complexity in his life. And we were able to succeed and create a process that didn't demand a lot of time from him, that we dictated when we needed him and when we didn't need him. And we were able to make that process pretty easy, and it led to other transactions as well. But we understand the strain and the stress of lives in general and the busyness of everybody, but we do try to focus and try to help them create efficiencies and to save as much time as we can with our process, because it can be a long process.
I think everyone's experience is different, and really taking the time to understand where they're coming from, where they've been, and where they want to go. I think that's critical to finding a solution for them and to tailoring, our process and our solutions. Everyone needs, to be heard, and so we really like taking the time, because if we don't understand who someone is and what their concerns are, what their fears are, and what their goals are, it's really difficult to help in a responsible way. Most people are not looking to build, kind of a family real estate empire, but they were. And so the financing solutions that we were able to work out together, were unique to them, I think, were unique to their situation. 99% of the clients that we talk to, they're not going to need that same solution. So it's not about creating cookie cutters for efficiency or so that everyone can just fit in the same box. It's about truly understanding their goals and objectives and making sure that we're responding to those needs and not judging, not coming with preconceived notions of who they are or what they're going to want.
So there's a lot of clients that come to us too that are very detail oriented, and we value providing all the transparency and clarity that they need. But a lot of times there's the clients that need some expertise and education and insight beyond what we normally provide to them. And that's okay, because we can create a lot of other options for individuals and their needs, but we've also got some great resources. So what that really means is there's a lot of clients that need more information that we can provide, and that's okay, because we can provide a lot of additional resources and a lot of additional data, and I should tell them to go to certain places to do research on certain things that they're asking about, or things like the financial markets, or things that they have questions about. And we can't provide answers to every single question, but what we can assure people of is that we can find out where to go to find those answers if we can't provide them ourselves. So we had another client too that owned a number of properties, and this was right before COVID. There was a lot of complexity too. Although they were very financially savvy and well positioned, there was a lot of things that limited them from having the ability to qualify for mortgages, especially before the onset of a pandemic. It was not easy, but it took us a lot of time, and our clients did a lot of research outside of what we could provide, and we did a lot of research as well, but we finally got to a point where we could put everything together. And again, it wasn't a simple transaction, but it was a multi-layer financial sort of plan that helped them address all the things that they wanted to do, especially in a time of uncertainty when there's a lot of things going on in the world and a lot of noises. So we felt very fortunate that we could provide a solution even under difficult circumstances, and probably an instance that's never going to occur again in our lives. So again, very blessed to help them.
It's taking the time to ask penetrating questions to find out who they truly are. And I don't think it's not an hour, hours and hours of talking or meeting. It's simply, being present with them and caring. Caring about who they are and caring about what they hope to achieve, and then dedicating yourself to taking the time to find those solutions that they need.
So over my career, we've had the chance to work with so many different individuals and families. And over an extended period of time, we worked with all kinds of people. And we're definitely in an age of technology, and there's lots of things going on. There's lots of distractions. But we still value the people that want to sit down and maybe aren't as technology driven, that want to sit down and meet face to face and talk about their situation. And we enjoy those just as much as anybody else. Now, that creates other challenges for utilizing technology, for getting their documents, for delivering them in a safe way, to move disclosures through the process. But that's okay, because even though what we think is normal for the times that we're in and for our industry, there's still a lot of people that value kind of the old school approach about having their documents, about meeting face to face. And we embrace those opportunities too. So it does create some other challenges, but it's a chance for us to help them get through the process as well, but it still creates another opportunity for us to help them and meet them at their particular juncture in life. And even if they're not technology savvy, it's still an opportunity for us to interact with them, to learn about how we can solve their problems and help create solutions. And sometimes the solutions may not be vast, where it's more technology driven, but we still value those opportunities to help people.
I mean, that was probably our most complex, most difficult, most kind of voluminous set of circumstances with, so many properties owned, so many properties that were financed. It really was a challenge, and we really had to go outside of the box on that one. A big credit has to go to the client in that case. I mean, he really made sure he had the plethora of documents that we were going to need, that they were all organized. That was tremendous. And so, I give a lot of credit to the client in that situation. And, at the end of the day, it's something that you do have to be doing the job for a while to pick up, a file like that, put it together in a way that the underwriter is not going to pull their hair out and is going to want to underwrite. I think, all underwriters do a good job, but I think it's only human nature that the more difficult we make it for them, the less likely that they're going to want to really dive into it. So the less picking and prodding they have to do, I think it really sets the client up for success and us up for success when we take extra time up front, get things organized, and set it in a way that the underwriter is going to want to work on it, rather than just throwing it against the wall and hoping it sticks.
So we've had the ability and the good fortune to help a lot of different people. And let's face it, in California, there's a lot of single parents. And we know that. And that makes it even tougher for a lot of people. And, we certainly want to be understanding and compassionate to people in their situations, especially during this process, which can have a little bit of difficulty and is not a process people always enjoy. So we are conscious of that, but we always want to be proactive, and we want to have the proper guidance and the care for people as we help them adjust and move through challenges, or whatever those challenges are. So we know that somebody recently divorced or a single parent can add some additional complexity. So we did have a client that unfortunately separated from his wife, and it was an adjustment for him, and as it would be for anybody. But what we had to do was to really help him understand what his new set of guidelines were from a financial standpoint. And we had to really help him adjust from his lifestyle and the area in the house and the type of financial obligations he had to a new one that was independent. And that took a little bit of time. It took a little bit of care. It took a lot of understanding, but we helped him create a solution to where he was able to start his life over and understood all the consequences and all the steps involved for him to reach his new objective. And again, it was during a time when it wasn't the perfect time in his life. So in the end, we were able to help him establish a new home that provided him with the independence that he was looking for during a difficult time.
In their situation, they'd kind of been kicked around a little bit. They had talked to multiple other lenders and felt like they were being almost pushed into some solutions that weren't to their advantage. And so after I heard that, I really wanted to put extra effort into exploring all the options that we could put together for them, but also making sure that they understood the different options. And then once they chose one, making sure that they understood exactly how the loan was going to work. Because I always tell people, once this loan is done, I'm always available, you can always call me, but I need you to understand the loan that you're getting, because if I don't, I haven't done my job correct.